John Mangus. And you know, when I started this course, I was a bit apprehensive. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I didn't know much about the mechanics of a school board, and I knew even less about the finances of a district. Although I must admit, my paychecks are rather embarrassing. You know, the topic area I chose was on teacher development, teacher in service. I thought for sure that it would be a great thing to look into and find out who makes the decisions on what teachers get trained in. After thinking about this, I thought it would be fun to ask the staff I work with a few simple questions. In your opinion, is there a difference between teacher in service and teacher development?
Yes. Teacher in service I do not think is applicable to the variety of teaching levels that are usually in a teacher in service, especially in a school our size. From kindergarten through 8th grade, we do not all need to be learning exactly the same things at the same time, and it's usually a much shorter learning session where things kind of get thrown together. I think in teacher development it's much more applicable to what you're doing in your classroom. You get to choose what you're going to, and it is for a longer period of time, and you really get to delve into and learn important information.
The difference between in-service and teacher development, I feel, is that in-service is administration driven. They see a topic that they think might be interesting for their staff, and so we do an in-service on it. But it's not really something that is always applicable to every teacher and to the classroom, so it really can be a throwaway item for some teachers. However, teacher development can be something that teachers get together and talk about. This is an area that we need to develop in our school, and they're going to take more ownership of it, and thus they're going to learn more and take more out of it, and it's going to benefit students in the long run much better.
All right, Jazz, this first window is going to be 21 inches. The next one is, 24 inches, 2 feet. Got that?
Got it.
Awesome. Oh, hey, hi, welcome back. Hey, Jazz, why don't you take a coffee break?
Okay, boss.
All right. Awesome assistant. Well, it looks like my colleagues have the same idea. An in-service training, they all feel, is something short, something that deals with specific areas, like an area in technology, like smart boards, where teacher development is definitely over a longer period of time and is much more in-depth and designed more to really get in and help the teacher find strategies to learn and help in the classroom. An article that I was reading called Beyond in Service by Angela Perry had this to say. To tailor professional development to individual teachers' needs, principals must not only know faculty members well, but also provide a buffet of training opportunities. Principals must allow teachers to help decide how to enhance practice. So, with that in mind, I thought of this question. Which one do you feel is more beneficial and why?
Oh my. I can see arguments for both of them, but I guess to me the teacher development is usually more beneficial because it's something that I can use right in my classroom. It's something that I'm developing because it is a need that I see to help to enhance what it is I'm teaching in the classroom. So I believe teacher development is more beneficial.
Which one would be more beneficial to teachers and why?
I feel that teacher development would be far more beneficial to teachers because in the long run you become a better educator.
Teacher development to me would be more strong as far as application to teachers, because if a teacher is wanting to learn about a specific topic, then they will go in with questions and they will come out being able to gain a lot of information. And in service, when chosen by the administration, may not apply to a specific teacher and what it is that they are doing in their classroom, so thus not have a lot of application to them personally at that time.
So, it seems like everyone agrees staff development is definitely the way to go, hands down. In an article that I was reading called Gaining Ground, a high school in New Brunswick had a big problem with their achievement gap. Let me read for you. The minority achievement gap was evident. 58.3% of white students demonstrated proficiency, but only 34.5% of black students demonstrated proficiency on the same assessment. The principal at that high school adopted a new motto, which was, whatever it takes. And what it took for his school was staff development. Staff development in the form of PLCs, professional learning communities. Not only that, but developing a cultural sensitivity, a cultural awareness of what his students needed. Funny enough, I found an article, Teachers in Service Training for Cultural Sensitivity, which stated, teachers need ongoing in-service training to learn about different cultures and to integrate multicultural education into the curriculum. Learning about different cultures and developing cultural sensitivity takes time and effort. So without a doubt, our teacher training, our teacher development has to close the gap, and it has to be sensitive to all students, no matter where they come from. So it was obvious. My next question is,
how does teacher development close the achievement gap? I think, again, when teacher development is based on what the teacher needs, it's also what the students needs. And based on, whether you're inner city or in a rural population, I think whatever your students needs, they're going to be met differently. And so teacher development can reach all of those students in the specific ways that they need.
Closing the achievement gap for our students is so critical these days, and by teachers working together and a whole staff working together with their development on finding the best way to help their students in their school, I think that that's going to help every single student to gain, and who knows just how much they can gain. The sky is the limit on that, but teachers working together is critical for the students to be able to be successful, and I just think that a teacher development program that they have ownership of is much more personal to them and will have a much better effect on their students.
so let's wrap this up. Closing the achievement gap is imperative in education today. Not only that, I think as teachers we have to be culturally sensitive, and we have to be very open to new philosophies and new ideas in our field. The question is, does teacher development really make a difference? I believe it does. I believe it helps a teacher to define their role and to best serve the students. Principals spend a lot of time looking for the right staff. And, I think a little bit of luck plays into it. My final thought, be passionate in what you do, be a point of light, and be present every day you teach. Good night. They all seem to think teacher in service was about a specific area. Hey, dude, you're not in this shot. Cut, cut.